Here we are at the Busch Hiking Trail, Busch Wildlife Conservation Area. This is the parking spot. I'll turn to the left here. This is actually where you sort of return from this direction. And over here is where you actually start. So the trail is marked, not a lot of marking, but it's marked counterclockwise. Let me zoom around here. See the parking lot a little. When you come in here, you're at a 90-degree bend in the road there. And so the trail begins. One thing you'll probably note if you watch the trail here is really, it was designed for vehicles, and so it's elevated compared to the rest of the land around us, so it drains pretty quickly. It's not too bad after rains and so forth. You do get puddles and all that, but it does drain pretty good. Okay, here we are approaching the first bunker, and I'll turn around once we get a chance. You'll see that it's actually close to the first, the gate where we entered. So, in fact, if you just wanted to take a peek at the bunker, you could easily do that. First bunker, and I'll aim back. That's where we started, where you can see vehicles. Most of these are either locked or appear to be welded shut there. There is at least one that is open, and I'll probably show that later on. There you can see this roadway, the trail, gently curves to the left. So it actually makes a circle. There's a short loop you can take and just take you, if you can't stay to the left all the time, it'll take you right back to where you parked. Might mention today's beginning of April. I can't see my watch at the moment. I think it's the 3rd or 4th. And so things are just starting to turn green, and here we can see to the left another bunker. Well, it has two different numbers on it, the lower number on the door and above that 444. And that's the second bunker. And as we come up here to our right, through the trees, and I guess you won't see this too well or at all during the summer, but to the right, and I'll stop, you might see the color of a lake down there. It's one of the larger lakes. That's a red bud blossoming. A little better view of the lake down there. You can see there are cedar trees around here too, that lining the roadway. By the way, this is one of my favorite trails for wintertime walking, because it does drain well and it's wide open. We don't have to worry about anything at all, really. Find a fair amount of people walking their dogs up here. But for wintertime, if you just want to do the full 2 loops, if I'm correct, it's slightly over 3 miles, about 3.1 miles. And right up ahead, you can see, I hope you can see, a sign on your left, sign on your right. If you consider continue straight, that just loops, takes you straight back to the parking lot. But you can easily do that loop in about 15 minutes. That's a conservative number, I believe. But we're going to do the long double loop, which is, I believe, around 3.1 miles. And this on your right is one of the few signs you'll see guiding you along the way. There are a couple here and there, but not a whole lot. But it's not too hard either. There's only one tricky section, and I'll point that out. So we make our bend to the right, and the next split again, we bear to the right, and I'll show that. Hikers, dog walkers right in front of us. Coming up to that split. Okay, we're coming up to the fork in the road. You'll actually come back via the left side, but we're going to stay to the right and turn us down. You'll see just as we turn to the right, a pond there. Okay, we'll just take a view of the pond. As you can see, this bunker has open written on it, and I believe in the past this has been open, so it may just be that the door is closed, but I thought this is one they just sort of leave open so people can see what one of these are like inside. And we're just up from that little pond. Okay, since we started, there was a gate we entered. This is the first gate you come across, and it's always closed for vehicle traffic. But as we pass through here, you bear to the right, and actually the road up here is used, I guess, fairly frequently by the Missouri Department of Conservation. It's not blocked off, so you'll see it looks more like 2-track than the other road did. And here we bear to the right, and up ahead there's going to be another bunker. We pass that and bear to the left to stay on the trail. I'll show that bunker when we get there. Okay, here's the bunker that I just mentioned. Looks like number 92 on the door. And continuing on up this slight incline here, goes up, and you can see off in the distance turns left, but you gotta turn way before you get there. I don't know if you can really make it out here, but about halfway there it bears off to the left, so make sure you turn there. Okay, we're at the place where you turn. You can see a little wooden post on the top of it is an arrow pointing to your left, so that's where the trail actually goes. Although whatever was written on there, some kind of plastic signs have been torn away or something over the years. So if I turn that way, head up the hill there, you'll also see another signpost. These are metal, and I think that one does. It looks like it has an arrow on the top of it. Let's see as we get closer. Yeah, it has a, looks like a green arrow telling you to go straight. So anyway, it's one of the few markers around, and unfortunately looks like the sign has come off on this one too. They need a little work here, but we'll continue on the trail. I guess you can use this as a landmark. It says Zombie Bunker on it, so that's the Zombie Bunker. And we'll turn showing the way we're going to continue ahead to the next intersection, which will actually be one of the main roads. Okay, through the trees there you can see another one of the small lakes. I can't remember, don't have my map. It's, I believe, either 19 or 20. But small lakes just before we get to the main road up ahead. Okay, we're coming up on the main road here, and for me this was the only confusing point I had the first time I walked this. You can see off in the distance, I guess that is Lake 19. I see a sign for it there. That would, if you can, well anyway, here the road splits in several different directions, and according to the map I thought we went the middle direction there, but it's actually to your right here. You turn, and possibly you can see a small sign that says hiking and biking trail straight ahead, which when I came here in summertime was, I guess, overgrown. I didn't see it, and the map seemed to indicate you go that way, which means if you do that, you're just going to stay on one of these roads for a long period of time. So stay this way. We're going to go until just over that rise there, a couple minutes walk. It makes a 90-degree bend to the right, and at that point in time we turn to the left onto a little road which will take us through the back fields and so forth. Another bunker, and this is just before we get to where we bear off of the main road here. So you can see right up ahead, it's going to bear to the left. By the way, we're walking due south right at the moment. Okay, we're at that point where it turns east, and looks like, well, it's basically two-track anyway. Okay, we're heading east on this two-track. Gonna make a little bend up here, which will take us to another bunker on our left. This will give you an idea. This kind of area is not blocked off with a gate. However, it does have a sign that says unauthorized vehicles not allowed type sign. By the way, it's a beautiful day here. It started in the mid-60s. It's supposed to hit 74 today. Got a nice breeze and not a cloud in the sky. Everything's very blue. Very clear sky. Looking back from where I came, and then here's the aforementioned bunker. And someone's sort of chopped down, or there's a cedar tree here, but it's staying alive, so I imagine it's from this little planter thing in front of the bunker, because it's been there like that since last year, but still looks like it's staying alive. So I guess the roots are in the ground. And we're going to continue onward in this direction. Here's one of those rather rare bush hiking trail markers. It says 2 miles. Sounds about right. Again, it's behind a bush, and you're not going to see it summertime probably. And we're heading, I guess, east at the moment. Makes a bend up ahead and bear to the north, I believe. But anyway, on we go. Maybe too windy, but there's a lot of gunfire there's a firing range nearby here. A lot of rounds, one after another, going off, hundreds actually. the reason I stopped here is to take a look at this field. There used to be corn in here, and you'll see quite a few of these fields where they plant corn or other crops, and I believe they don't really harvest the corn. It's my understanding that it's there for the deer. So maybe not. But anyway, onward again. Okay, this is Bunker 84. Just passed first jogger I've seen out here. I've already passed a couple with a dog. That's about it, but it's a really nice day for a hike. More of a walk on this. You don't have much elevation change at all. There isn't a lot of underbrush here. Of course, it's early in the season, but it's always pretty much so along here. And we're coming back to the main road, which we will just cross straight ahead. We're back up to one of the main roads, Bunker straight there. The direction we're going to do is just cross straight over and head towards that gate down there. And just for a frame of reference, I'm going to show what it is off to the right. Yeah, let's do a whole 360 and show where we came from. So service road, do not enter. Okay. And back to the bunker. Okay. Let's head across. I do see some people using this serve as a parking area right here before you get to the authorized vehicles only. So another place to access the trail, I believe. That's where not to go, actually. We had walked back there a long time ago, but here we come up to where we are going to go. We'll go through this gate, and just beyond it on our right is a little bench, which I sometimes use to get a rock out of my shoe, or just take a couple minutes just to sit here and enjoy the wind blowing and the sounds of nature and so forth. So here's our little bench. So let's do it. We'll just take a seat here. From the bench, just do a view. Airplane, maybe you can hear, just took off from Spirit of St. Louis Airport, it sounds like. Ways back, you don't hear too many of them right here, but they do fly over. So we're getting closer. Once you reach that bench I sat on just a while ago, you're getting pretty close to the end. Less than 10 minutes, I believe. Another bunker number 98. Another reason we don't see too many hiking, biking trail signs, since this one's on the ground. Okay, we're coming up on where we're starting to repeat our trail for the first time. If we went to the left, over there is the pond we saw at the beginning of our walk. Now we're duplicating our steps until we get up this rise a little, and then we'll turn right and head us right to the car. Okay, we're reaching the end. It says, the sign says, to the parking lot, turn right. We go up a little rise and then it's downhill the rest of the way. That's the 3-mile marker. So yeah, it's just a little over 3 miles, because up ahead there you can see the starting point where the where you park your car. Trailhead. We'll head on that way.